John Forsythe. Kay Medford as Aunt Harriet.
Ask Contessa why you chose an American school?
When my son graduates, he's to be sent to the United States to work in the American branch of the DePavia factory.
Oh, will you stay to lunch, Contessa?
Thank you. I have another engagement. There will be details to arrange. My secretary will call you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. We'll do our best to make Marius happy.
Oh, no, no. He must do his best to make you happy that he's here. Goodbye, Professor.
I'll see you to your car.
Oh. You have chosen well. It will be a good experience for Marius.
It'll be good for us to have him here, too.
Dad! Oh, excuse me.
Contessa, this is my daughter, Allison. This is the Contessa DePavia and her son, Marius, who just enrolled here.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi is a correct greeting, is it not in America?
Yes, but I would keep hello and how do you do in reserve, though. Hi wouldn't be exactly right if you were called to Washington to meet the president. I'm kidding.
Kidding?
Stuzzicati.
Ah,
Well, I must go. Caro?
I will stay. To begin is to begin. The early bird takes the worm. That is an American saying, right?
You must let Marius bring you to visit us. Goodbye, Alison.
It's nice to meet you, Contessa.
Oh, Allison, why don't you show Marius the cafeteria?
Okay.
You have a beautiful daughter, Professor. I approve of my son's first acquaintance.
It works both ways.
Where's Allison?
She'll be along. Young man from school is driving her home. Here, let me help you with that.
Santa Maria.
Penny, where'd you pick up that expression?
Mama Vitaly says it all the time. Is it bad?
No, it's not particularly something you use about automobiles.
But boy, what a neat car.
Very sporty car, Marius.
It will do 150 kilometers without breathing hard.
And hopefully without my daughter in it.
I'm a very careful driver, sir. You see, 6 months and not a scratch.
Marius, I want you to meet my sister. This is Harriet Endicott. This is Marius DePavia, one of our new students.
Hi. How do you do, signora?
Signorina.
Oh, scusi, signorina.
And these are two more daughters. That's Penny and Pokey.
Hi.
Professor, you will permit I take Allison to my house for coffee?
Coffee? Now?
We also have tea.
Well, I don't know whether your mother would appreciate you bringing Allison by unannounced.
To the contrary, sir. You heard her say I must bring Allison soon to visit? Well, now is not too soon.
It's up to you, dear.
Oh, I'd love to see his home. It sounds beautiful.
I promise you, sir, I will have her back in 2 hours.
Okay, go ahead.
If you're late, dinner will keep. It's pot roast.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Have a good time.
Bye and have dinner with us sometime, Marius.
Bye.
Santa Maria.
Penny, I told you.
It's not about the car. It's about him. He's beautiful.
Principessa di Savoia and the Contessa della Roblia and the Marchesa Santucci. Oh, you should have seen the clothes, the jewels, and their palazzo. It's a real palace. The most beautiful grounds, statues, marble floors. And me, in a skirt and blouse and sensible shoes.
Bet you were prettier than any of them.
Oh, and to top everything, the conductor of the Rome Opera was there. He started talking to me about music. He's awfully nice. Molto elegante, of course.
What does that mean in plain English?
Elegant.
He was really cute. Not a bit stuffy. I kept talking to him about Puccini, because he's the only composer I know about. He called the Contessa over, and he said, "You must bring this delightful girl to the opening of our opera season."
Is that what he really said?
That's what he said. He said, "You must bring her because we are doing La Boheme, and she is an admirer of Puccini." So now, I'm invited to sit in the Contessa's box opening night of the opera.
It's got to be the biggest night of the social season.
But what are you going to wear?
Dad, don't you see? I can't go.
Why, of course you can. It'll be a night you'll remember the rest of your life.
But I'd be surrounded by half of Rome, dripping with pearls and sables.
You haven't turned down the invitation, have you?
I didn't know how to. I didn't want to admit I didn't have anything to wear.
I'll get you a dress.
Dad, not just a dress.
I know. A beautiful evening gown.
But, Mike, that evening, the wealthiest ladies in Rome are going to be outdoing themselves with creations by the top designers of Europe.
Why don't you wear the dress you wore to the sophomore prom?
No, Penny, she would have to have something fabulous.
And a bag to go with it, and shoes and accessories, just to wear once. When would I ever go to something like this again?
Allison, there are very few times when a father can perform a little magic for a daughter, and this is one of those times. I'm going to get you that dress. It's very lovely, isn't it? Little mature, I think, don't it?
I guess so. Oh, how beautiful.
One of Colucci's most divine creations. 140,000 lire. Really quite reasonable when you consider the material and workmanship.
Dad, that's almost $300.
Miss, would it be possible to arrange time payments?
Grazie. I'm sorry, Signor, but we don't have such arrangements.
Would you take a deposit to hold the dress for a while?
I'm afraid not, Signor.
Dad, please.
Perhaps we could, just for a day or two.
Well, this would be several weeks at least.
I'm sorry.
Thank you very much. It's very beautiful, but I'm afraid it's more than we could afford to pay.
Thank you very much, Miss.
Good afternoon. Please come again.
Dad, don't look so unhappy. It's not that important.
It is to me.
Oh, of course it'd be nice. It'd be dreamy.
Honey, let's give it another try. There's a fashionable little shop over on the Via Sistina.
We've been to 5 places, and we know how much original models cost. Anyway, after seeing this dress, please, let's go home. It's making us both feel just awful.
Better talk next time.
Mike, how about a game?
No, thanks. Got a class in a couple of minutes. Oh, Ed. You've been living in Rome for a couple of years now on a teacher's salary. What do you do when you need extra money fast?
I generally marry a rich American widow.
Seriously now.
How much?
Oh, about 250 American dollars.
Oh, sorry. I could lend you 5. I warn you, don't get hung up with the local loan sharks. The interest rate will eat you alive.
What does a guy do?
Well, if you want to knock your brains out,
I do.
there are a lot of students around here who won't pass without extra tutoring. It's maddening after teaching all day, but it's possible. The headmaster has a list.
That's good. Now, what else?
I once worked as a tourist guide. They like you. The tips are pretty good. Degrading, but good.
Okay. Got to raise this money in 2 weeks. Who needs sleep for 2 weeks? Thanks, Ed.
Sure. Mike, what in the world is so important?
A dress. One of a kind for my oldest daughter.
I never realized how lucky I was to be a bachelor.
Not as lucky as being the father of 3 girls.
Come on, Pokey. Let's go to bed, huh?
Just a few more minutes until Daddy comes home.
He's never been this late before.
Each night he gets later and later.
Hi.
Hi.
You tired, Dad?
Yeah, a little.
Do you have to do all that research?
Sure, it's part of the job.
What research?
My book. And then I have to brush up on studies so I can keep ahead of my students. If I relax for 1 semester, those kids would take over.
Well, there's some beef stew. I'll go and heat
Oh,
it
no,
up.
don't bother. I had a bite out.
Good night, Daddy. I wet it up for you.
I'm glad you did, darling. Good night.
I'll put Pokey to bed.
I'll say good night too, Dad.
Good night, Penny.
You know, you can kid them about this research work, but I know what you've been doing. You've been wearing yourself out, making that $300 extra.
Oh, I'll survive.
But how can you possibly make that much so quickly?
Well, I've got almost half of it already. See, I've got $10 from that extra tutoring to deposit. Got a lead on a guide job. I know Rome well enough to be able to show those American tourists around. I know it pretty well by now.
Mike, it's the only good piece of jewelry I've got. Mother gave it to me.
Oh, yes, I remember. Beautiful. But I don't understand.
Well, I was thinking, if you're going to buy her that dress, she's going to need jewelry to go with it. And the way you described it, well, that would be just perfect.
Yes, it will. You figure I can make it, don't you?
I know you're going to do your best.
Such a reason, Allison. I do not understand.
My father's a professor. He's respected and honorable, but he's not rich.
But one dress, my mother could buy it for you. It's such a little thing.
But we have family honor, too. We couldn't allow it.
Well, if you do not go, I do not go. Is this fair?
Oh, no, I think you should go. It's a very important night. I think you should take somebody else. I'd understand. Thanks for bringing me home. Goodbye, Marius. Hi. Marius drove me home. Dad'll be here in a few minutes, but he has to go right out again. Boy, that research is really wearing him down.
Yes, I know. I'm going to try a grocery that I hear is cheaper. We're watching our lira this month.
Aunt Harriet, I finally got up the nerve to tell Marius.
Tell him what?
That I'm not going to the opening of the opera.
Allison!
Oh, it was easy. I just told him the truth. We don't have enough money to buy an original creation to wear just once.
Allison, call him back right away. Tell him you can go.
Wearing what?
The gown, the dream gown.
It's it's too expensive. Dad's working too hard as it is.
But don't you see why? Why he has been working every day after school, every night?
Oh, no. I didn't realize.
It's something he wants to do, something he has to do, out of sheer love for his daughter.
What if he can't earn all that? I'll love him for trying, but it'll hurt him so much.
Allison, I promise you, you are going to the opening of the Rome Opera, and you are not going to tell your father that I told you.
I wouldn't.
Good afternoon, Signora.
Good afternoon. There was another young lady here, a sales lady.
Oh, Francesca. She has the holiday today. May I help you?
Yes. She showed my daughter a dress that I want to buy.
Perhaps if you would describe it.
Well, it's kind of green. I suppose you'd call it chartreuse. And it's got gold and white sequins up here. It cost 140,000 lira.
Ah, yes, I remember it. It was sold this afternoon.
Sold? Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
Well, could you make up another one in a hurry?
Oh, no. Colucci makes only one dress of its style.
Something like it then? The same type of thing?
Well, I will ask. For when is it needed?
Tonight.
It's not possible. Colucci is very busy now for finishing the gowns for the opening of the opera. Well, perhaps afterward. In 2 or 3 days?
At the moment, I don't feel like bursting into song.
Can I get you something?
No, thank you, dear. Where's Aunt Harriet?
In a room, I guess.
Harriet, you won't believe it. All those nights of working and finally get the money, and then the dress is gone. It's sold.
Mike.
How did you get...
Look, I didn't think you'd make it. I'm sorry.
Where'd you get the money?
Well, that antique pin of mine, it wouldn't have gone with this. And besides, I never wear it.
And here, they're all out of zucchini, so I got some broccoli. Is it really?
It's yours.
Oh. Oh, I just can't believe it. Oh, Dad.
Now, Hook was alone. He tiptoed to one of the trees.
He's here, Allison. Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening, Marius.
Am I too early?
No. Please, come in. Allison will be along in a minute. Won't you sit down?
Oh, grazie.
Penny, you're staring.
I want to see what he's going to do with them.
Do with what?
The part of his coat that hangs down.
I will tell you what I would like to do with them. With the scissors.
Then why do you wear them?
It's the custom for the opening of the opera.
Good evening.
Hi.
Good evening, Marius.
Tanta bellezza. Una visione, Allison.
Grazie. You haven't said anything yet, Dad.
Marius said it for me. Oh, an heirloom, Marius. Been in the family since the great train robbery of '88.
Dad, Marius will take you seriously.
Harriet, why don't you pin it on? You might as well finish the job. Have a good time now.
Thank you, Dad. You too.
Have a good time.
Come in.
Hey, it's 1:30. That's pretty late.
No, not for the opening night of the Rome Opera. It's going to be a glorious party right after the last curtain. See, just about now, Allison should be having champagne and caviar. Or dancing. Or standing out on the balcony, looking at the glory and mystery of Rome.
You know, I'm not sure whose night it is. Yours or mine or Allison's.
Her first evening dress. Will you ever forget the way she looked?
And when you brought out that antique pin,
Well, you bought the dress, I bought the pin. Not exactly the way we had it planned, but...
how'd you find my pawn ticket?
in your bag.
Oh, it was very silly to buy that dress.
Yes, I suppose so. There were a lot cheaper dresses in Rome.
And any one of them would have been good enough.
Only tonight, good enough would not have been good enough.
And after the opera, there was a party at the Osteria del Orso.
What's that?
Probably the most expensive restaurant in Rome.
Champagne?
Gallons and a huge bowl of caviar. I was dying to order a hamburger, but I was ashamed to. And I danced with the tenor Armandi and got dirty looks from the soprano. He must be 37 at least.
Oh, what about Marius?
He was wonderful. You know, I think when he gets out in the world and matures, he's going to be someone very special. Oh, it was all so marvelous. I'll just never forget it. No matter what happens to me, this is just going to be the most wonderful night of my life. Dad, how am I going to thank you? You and Aunt Harriet.
You thanked us, darling.
Dad, I'm invited to Elwood Thompson's birthday party. Can I have a new dress? And I need a new dress to go to Susie's birthday party.
Well, Harriet, back to the pawn shop.